there!
Hello, good to see you all.
Yes, it is. It's fantastic that you're with us on another Sunday morning, ready to think about the Bible.
So last week we read about Jesus speaking to the tax collectors, to the Pharisees and to the sinners. And he told them a story about a man who took what his father had and completely wasted all of it, completely wasted it. But when he went home, his father forgave him.
It was a great story. In fact, it was one of our 3 stories. Today, Jesus is going to tell another story. But this time, he tells it to his disciples, the ones that are his followers, the ones that want to put him first. And in the story that he tells, well, it does have some similarities because there's another man who squanders, it says, who wastes his master's possessions. He wastes it all. But what happens? What's it got to do with us? We'll get reading and find out. It's in Luke chapter 16, so grab your Bible.
So in Luke chapter 16, starting at verse 1. He, that's Jesus, also said to his disciples, "There was a rich man who had a manager, and charges were brought to him that this man was wasting his possessions. So he called the man to him and said to him, 'What is this that I hear about you? Turn in the account of your management, for you can no longer be manager.' And the manager said to himself, 'What shall I do? Since my master is taking the management away from me, I am not strong enough to dig, and I am ashamed to beg. I have decided what to do, so that when I am removed from management, people may still receive me into their houses.' So, summoning his master's debtors one by one, he said to the first, 'How much money do you owe my master? How much do you owe my master?' he said. And the man said to him, 100 measures of oil. 'So take your bill and sit down quickly and write 50. Then he said to another, 'And how much do you owe?' And he said, 100 measures of wheat. So the manager said, 'Well, take your bill and write 80. The master commended the dishonest manager for his shrewdness. For the sons of this world are more shrewd in dealing with their own generation than the sons of light.' Jesus continues, 'I tell you, make friends for yourselves by means of unrighteous wealth, so that when it fails, they may receive you into eternal dwellings. One who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much, and one who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much. If then you have not been faithful with the unrighteous wealth, who will entrust to you the true riches? And if you have not been faithful with that which is another's, who will give you that which is your own? No servant can serve 2 masters, for he will either hate one and love the other, or he will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money.'"
Wow, thanks, Joanna. But it's quite difficult, you know. I think we've not seen Bob or Lucy for quite a while, so maybe we could get them to help us with this.
We better go and wake them up then.
Okay, so let's get them. Lucy! Lucy, where are you? Come in here now.
Hi, Boss Bob!
I'll be having none of your cheek. I have been hearing that you have been wasting my stuff, and I have had a look in the piggy bank and there is not enough in there. There should be more in there. You have been wasting it. It's shocking. You are meant to be the manager and you're wasting all my stuff. So you are getting the sack. Now go and sort things out and then you are off.
Oh,
I'm
dear.
going. You get it sorted out, and then you've got the sack. Bye.
Okay, Bob. Oh my goodness, Boss Bob. He found out I was wasting all the money. What am I gonna do now? I can't dig. And I didn't want to beg. What will I... Oh, wait a minute. Light bulb. I just had an awesome idea. Right. Hello, Danny Dog. I've asked you to come and see me today because I need to sort out some business. So, I need to find out from you, how much do you owe my master, Boss Bob?
Well, I owe him 100 bits of oil. 100.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I'll give you a deal, alright? So, seeing as we're pals and all, and I know you'll look out for me, I tell you what, just take your bill and instead write that you only owe 50 bits of oil, okay?
Oh, that is fantastic.
Right?
I'm so happy that it's half alcohol. I'm so pleased. Thank you, Lucy.
No problem! Right, who am I going to see next? Right, great! Next, Sammy Squirrel. I'm pleased you came to see me today. I've got to talk business with you. So, Sammy Squirrel, let me know, how much do you owe my master, the boss man, Bob? Tell me now.
Well, bonjour. I owe him 100 pieces of grain. 100 is what I owe him.
All right. Well, seeing as we're pals and all, I tell you what, so as that you are gonna look out for me and hate my back, how about we just make a deal that you only owe Bossman Bob 80 bits of flour and wheat, all right?
Wow, that is super duper special. Thank you very much, Lucy. I will look out for you most definitely. Thank you.
No problem. Good doing business with you. Bye-bye.
Lucy, come in here now. Right,
Yes, Boss Bob.
now, I have been watching you since I told you you were getting the sack because you wasted all my stuff. Well, I've been watching you and I must admit, I have been impressed with your shrewdness, with your cleverness, because you have taken my stuff and you have used it to make friends for yourself so that once you didn't have a job, they'll look out for you. That was very clever. Well, now you got the sack. Bye-bye.
Okay, I suppose that's fair enough. Right, off to see my new pals.
Off you go. Well, that is a bit of a tricky story. Thanks to Bob and Lucy for helping us to think it through a bit more. So, we've got a master who's not happy with his manager and he's getting rid of him, but then the manager uses his master's stuff to make life better for himself. He makes friends with his master stuff. Now, remember, who's Jesus telling this story to? He's telling it to his disciples, his followers. So, who's their master? Well, Jesus is their master. Now, they don't want to rip off Jesus and use Jesus' stuff to make their lives better. That doesn't make sense. But all we have does come from Jesus.
So Jesus says to his disciples, now that's the people he was speaking to then who were following him, but it actually also includes us if we are Jesus' disciples, if we are Christians and follow him. He told them the message. He tells us also that they should use what they have and they should use it well. So not using it just to make their lives easier or nicer or better, but to think about what they have, what they've been given by him, and to use it for things that will last forever, to use it for eternal things. Now, an example of that is from the story, like how the man made friends to benefit him later. We are also to make friends, but not just for our own benefit, but in order that we can share the great news that we have about Jesus with them. And we might use what we have to make friends with them, to build a relationship with them, in order that they may hear the good news about Jesus.
And we know that that pleases our master as well, because last week we heard how the father celebrated when people came home. But the manager in this story, he used his position and his master's money to make sure that he'd have a place to stay, a meal to eat from the people that he kind of helped out. We should use what God gives us and look ahead, but not just to next week to make our lives look better, but we need to look even further, to think about now, next week, next year, even further, and think about eternity, being with God in heaven forever. So, how can we do that? Well, we want to make good friends and share with them the best thing that we have. If we have a good friend, we're going to want to share with them. Like, if you had a good friend and you had a bag of sweets and you just stood and munched them all yourself, you wouldn't be a very good friend, would you? You want to share them. And it's the same with the best thing that we have, Jesus. We want to share him with those that we know. So by telling them, by taking them where they're here about Jesus, we're using the things that we have now to make a difference forever, because knowing Jesus lasts forever. Or maybe here's a different idea. Maybe if you've got some money, then money is useful, but it's only useful for a certain period of time, because when we eventually die, our money is no good to us. So we can use that lasts for a while, but make it useful forever. So maybe we would give it towards a missionary, someone that goes and tells people about Jesus, and help them to have enough money that allows them to do that task. We use something that we've got now to make a difference forever.
That sounds amazing. So you might be thinking, well, hold on a minute, guys. I'm just little, or I don't have very much to share, to use in the right way. But this passage tells us that those who are faithful with just a little actually will be faithful with a lot, will use it well. So it says that if you use your little bit that you have well for the right thing, then you're also going to use the lot, if and when you get it, for the right thing. So it isn't actually about how much you have, it's about using it for the right thing, using what you have very well for things that will last forever.
Yeah, this has been a tricky one to think about. So go and have a chat with your family, see if you can puzzle it out a bit more, and we hope to see you soon.
Bye.